Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. And as we have set the target of completing 200 books summarized in the entire year, here comes one new book today. And the name of the book that we have today is Abundance. Let us see the name of the book, Abundance, written by Peter Diamandis. So this is a book 110. We are at the number of 110 book. And our target is 200 books. Let us see who is this Peter Diamandis. Peter Diamandis is an American marketer, engineer, physician, and entrepreneur of Green American ethnicity. He is an innovation and entrepreneurship coach, and his latest insights all are about technology and entrepreneurship. So, and what is he famous for? He's an world's 50 greatest leaders, named by Fortune as one of the world's 50 greatest leaders. And he's also the founder and executive chairman of X Prize Foundation. The book that we are reading currently is 10 years ago. Let us see what is this book is suggesting us. Before going further, let us see who is the target audience. The 27-year millennial who cannot wait to buy his first own 3D printer. Or else the 55-year-old baby boomer who thinks the world's best days are behind us. And anyone who is not convinced that the future will be great. So let us see the synopsis of this book. Abundance shows you the key technological trends being developed today to give you a glimpse of a future that's a lot brighter than you think and help you embrace the optimism we need to make it happen. Whatever we do, we need to make it happen. So let us see from author what is suggesting us. Peter Diamandis says like this: abundance is not about providing everyone on this planet with a life of luxury. Rather, it is all about providing all with a life of possibility. So let me repeat this statement. Abundance is not about providing everyone on this planet with a life of luxury. Rather, it's about providing all with a life of possibility. You cannot help but feel hopeful after reading this. You might even want to explore a bunch of trends outlined in this book and take a swing at a project in one of them yourself, like 3D printing or robotics. If you need a reminder that there is no better time to be alive than today, let me repeat this. There is no better time to be alive than today. And why you have all the reason to be grateful, abundance is the right choice. Published in 2012 by Peter Diamandis and Stephen Kotler, Abundance was an instant success with techies, entrepreneurs, and science fiction nerds. Contrary to what the news tell you, the world is not such bad shape, and after reading this, you will know why. Abundance is a glimpse at the future and a primer for everyone. Means it is always thinks about the future. Who does not yet feel too optimistic about it? Followed by Bold in 2015 from the same two authors, Peter Diamandis and Stephen Kotler, which helps businesses create more of the technology we need to make it happen. James Altucher turned me on this one as he promotes as an abundance mindset himself. Means we also listen abundance mindset every now and then, but that made me to choose this book as Abundance titled. Let us see the top 3 lessons. Here are the 3 lessons to help you think abundantly in a world plagued by the scarcity complex. First important lesson is forget the news and your amygdala. And the second important lesson is the world's biggest problems will be solved simultaneously. And the most important third lesson is think about the inside the right-sized box, not outside the box. Many people says that think out of the box, but instead of that, think inside the right-sized box. Are you ready for the future? After these lessons, you will definitely be So let us see each and every lesson in detail. Lesson number 1. Screw the news and irrational fears. Today is better than ever. Today is better than ever. Today is better than ever. If you are convinced we are in a permanent downward spiral and everything is going to get worse all the time, no matter what we do, you are what Peter Thiel calls an infinite pessimist in 0 to 1. Indefinite pessimist. Let us see what is indefinite pessimist. It looks like out on a bleak future, but he has no idea what to do about it. So this is the image that you can see where how optimistic and pessimistic things. So definite optimism, indefinite optimism. Definite means they have clarity. Indefinite means there is no clarity. In pessimism also we have definite pessimism and indefinite pessimism. Let us see the example of this. Like engineering and art is all about definite optimism. Finance and law is like indefinite. Wartime rationing is pessimistic, and insurance is like a indefinite pessimism. So currently we are thinking about indefinite pessimism. At least this state is curable and you are most likely in it for the following 2 reasons. Your lizard brain dominates your behavior and you look at the news a lot. If you are a person who reads a magazine, who watches the news channel every now and then that is leading to you irrational fears. The first factor describes the ancient structure of our brain, which is not all too suited for the modern world. What Seth Godin describes as the hungry, scared, angry, and horny lizard brain, which must be quieted, is truly your amygdala, your fear radar. Let us see how amygdala will be. This is the images. You can get an idea of amygdala. So this is a small part in your brain which acts as a radar. So let us go back to our summary. So your amygdala is your fear radar, which puts you in fight or flight mode. Either it will make you fight mode or it will make you flight mode. Every time it sees even the slightest threat. Whenever you feel that slight threat, you enter into fight mode or you enter into the flight mode. Most of the things that trigger it today aren't real threats. However, because neither a yelling boss nor a ringing phone or pressing the publish button on a blog post will kill you. Most of the things that trigger it today are not real threats. However, because neither a yelling boss nor a ringing phone or pressing the publish button on a blog post will kill you. The second part is about the news blowing everything out of proportion and focusing on the bad headlines because shock, horror, and fear get the most clicks. If you include the most horror related titles or shock, fear titles, then only you are getting more number of clicks right now in the market. So calm down, cut the news cord, and look at some statistics. You will see the world has never been a better, safer place to live a long, healthy, wealthy, and abundant life. So if you want have abundance mindset and abundance life, screw the news and irrational fears and say to yourself, today is better than ever. Today is better than ever. Let us see the second lesson. We will solve a lot of world's biggest problems simultaneously. It is right that we face many complex problems today, but looking at them individually is a mistake. We face many complex problems today, but looking at them individually is a mistake. The future will sure seem hopeless if you think of our increasing need of energy, like climate change, environmental pollution, population growth, and world hunger are as in separate problems. So these are the few global problems that we are facing, like lack of energies, resources, or climate change, environmental pollution, population growth, and world hunger. Are we treat them as a separate problems, but they are not. Let us take an example. Eradicating malaria will not only mean better health for African people, it is also improve their economic situation because less people will be unable to work and more tourists will flock to into the continent because it is now safer. So when the health is get better, everything economically also will better and the social network also will be better. Also, since most cases affect children, as mortality rates go down, and so will birth rates also go down. There is no need for African mothers to bear 7 children when they can be sure that their first 2 kids will actually survive. If their first 2 kids survive, there is no need to go for more and more number of children. Similarly, generating high density energy from algae, which can be grown in salt water, will not only solve the need for more energy, but also lessen the environmental burden because less crop has to be farmed for the same purpose. Let me repeat this. I want to understand this in more detail. Generating high density energy from the algae, which is growing from the salt water, will not only solve the need for more energy, but also decrease the environmental burden because less crop has to be farmed for the same purpose. So we will see how to generate the high density energy later. You see, the world's most complex problems all relate to each other, which means we never solve just one of them. Progress always means progress in several areas. Let me repeat this powerful statement. Progress always means progress in several areas, not in single area. So let us see the most important lesson of this book. Lesson number 3. Instead of thinking outside the box, think inside the right sized box. These kinds of innovations can only come from a mindset of abundance. America is often considered to celebrate failure, like they celebrate failures as well. A culture that's often criticized by other countries. Germany is especially skeptic of this. But the USA's failure culture is not about trying to fail. It's about the freedom to experiment. So whenever you celebrate the failure, you have a freedom to experiment one more time. And the spirit will get up and try again after learning from your mistake. Nobody ever tries to fail on purpose. Means purposefully they don't fail. But that doesn't mean you should stop trying when you are doing is important. So when you know what you are doing and you don't stop trying, it will not harm you. So nobody ever tries to fail on purpose, means purposefully they never fail, but that doesn't mean you should stop trying when what you are doing is important. Innovation competitions with small prizes encourages the right kind of behavior because the prizes are not big enough to warrant huge companies' interest, but force small teams to innovate with what they are given. To understand this, let us see one example here. Let us see an example. MIT holds a competition where team of 5 people have 5 days to run a business experiment for $5,000 or less. It conducted a competition. MIT is a Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That MIT hold a competition of 5 people for 5 days to run a business experiment within $5,000. The problems we are trying to solve stem from current limitations we cannot move past. So confining ourselves on purpose is how we can learn to work with what we have got to create something better. Even though you get limited resources, try to find out how to use the maximum resources in proper manner. It's not so much about thinking outside the box as it is placing yourself inside the right sized box and figuring out how to get out of it. So this is all about, instead of thinking outside the box, think in the right sized box. So even though you have limited resources, find out how to utilize the maximum way of effective utilization. There is a saying that effective utilization of available resources is one necessary thing for everyone. So these are the 3 lessons. Forget the news and stop the media and social media network or whatever news that you are following from news apps. Forget the news, and your amygdala is a fear radar. If you give the fearful information to amygdala, it will spread over all your brain. So screw the news and irrational fears. And if you want to say to yourself, tell to yourself, today is better than ever. And the second important lesson is world's biggest problems will be solved simultaneously. If you solve one problem, it will lead to another problem as well. Means if you find a solution for one problem, you will find a solution for other problems as well at the same time. And the third powerful lesson that we have seen is think about right-sized box instead of thinking about out of the box. That is all about 3 powerful lessons from the book Abundance, written by Peter Diamandis and Steven Kotler. See you in another book summary on Monday. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing, stay with your family, spend your time and spend your weekends by being abundance mindset. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, Monday, on another book summary. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing.